Here we go. I didn't get to see what that was. Okay, this is a 1/16 ounce lure here. Got a few of these to do. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Thank you guys for coming in. Well, I'm glad I poured all those heads because we are just busy with orders. Bunch of tackle store orders. Sorry about that. There we go. I got to have 36 of these here. So I've got about a dozen tied up already. So we got a couple more dozen we got to tie. I'm going to go thin on this on purpose because I have some extra flashaboo that I have that's already pre-cut. That I can add on here. Hey there, lass. Welcome in. I think after this color, I'm going to work on the Thunderbird lure. We only have two more or three more batches to make after this here. So I've been working on like 4 tackle store orders. One from Oklahoma and then 3 from Florida. So after I get done with this Roland Martin, I'm going to work on the Nabatac Outdoors order. Try to get that out maybe Monday or Tuesday. Hopefully sooner. Hey there, Zyro. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you guys doing? You guys doing okay? Chilling in Kentucky. How's the weather out there? Is it cold? Yeah, you guys have a lot of hills and mountains and stuff over there, don't you? I don't think we have a breeze or anything today. It was super windy yesterday. Hey there, Royal. Hey there. Welcome in. Eastern Kentucky hills and mountains. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Woodworking. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's been a while. I don't remember every single person I meet on YouTube, but this one here is called the Lethal Weapon. It is a 1/16 ounce. 1/16 ounce. I'm working on a tackle store order, so that's why I'm tying up so many of these. Yep. Thank you there, Royal. Russia, India, bye bye. Have you forgotten me? Uh, I don't know why you have. Why do I need to remember you? Tell me. If you're happy watching, just watch. That's all you got to do is watch. We could converse. If you want to be a friend or whatever, just hang out. That's all you got to do. Hang out, make some new friends. Don't just pop in one time and one time a year and ask me to try to remember you. Just tying up a bunch of lures today. So you guys can ask questions or whatever in the channel, and I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. Hey there, Carolina. Yeah, I meet hundreds of people every day. Yeah, it's kind of hard to remember everybody. Bet you can't answer why YouTube isn't pushing my channel again. I don't know. Sometimes it does that with me too. I think last week we only had maybe 2 new subscribers of all last week. We were getting a bunch of subscribers every day, and then we kept losing a lot. But I think only ended up with the end of the week with 2 new subscribers. But I mean, you have to figure out what's interesting to people. That's my biggest tip to everybody that's out there. You know, do something that people have an interest in. You may have to change up your, how would I say, change up your maybe attitude. It may be just whatever whatever you do. Sometimes people won't come in and watch. And I know I'm kind of boring today. Today I'm not feeling the greatest. So, but no, I'm just tired. That's all I am. But so just got to figure out what people want out there, and I tell this with all the people. I know a lot of people that do live streaming with lure making, and I always say pick out the strongest attributes about yourself on your lure making and put more of an emphasis on that. Um, you know, and that's what I do. Sometimes it's pouring. There's only so much with what I do with lure making, and I try to make that be the forefront. Whether it's if I'm tying jigs, it's all about the jig. If I'm pouring heads, people want to see the lead go into the mold. Things like that. Lawnmower jousting. Yeah, there you go. So that can't be it. My videos are informative. Yeah, you mean, all right, you just have to, and I'm going to say this with, you know, what may be interesting to you may not be interesting to somebody else. And my wife had told me that. And that's a little bit of, she told me that a long time ago when I started doing live streaming. What may be interesting to you may not be interesting to everybody else, you know. And yeah, you might have an interest in something, but not everybody is like you. And so that's why a lot of times I'll put the lure and make the lure the main show. I doubt I have a sparkling personality. I just I don't really, and I'm not really you know I again I you know I make the lures the main thing. uh, I know I do tie lures very well, and I know there's I know that not just because of me, and that's not my perspective. I know that because I've been told that a lot of times from people watching. And so, it's just one of them things to where you know, you gotta be good at what you do. And if you're not that good at what you do, or you're not that entertaining, um, that may not be the thing to do. Not everybody's built for live streaming, and just one of them things. Let's see. I don't post every day or every week either. Yeah, I mean, you got to do that too. It should be a national sport. What should be a national sport? The jousting, lawnmower jousting. So again, there's reasons people will watch. Sometimes it's because of sometimes it's because the person's good looking too. And I doubt that's why people watch my lives. you know, um, it does help out if you are a pretty young lady. I noticed that on live streams as I'm kind of sliding through different live streams, that a lot more of the attractive young ladies get a lot of viewers. Um, but I know that people that are fishing, if you're not catching a lot of fish on your live stream, you better have some good stories, or be able to talk to people that well. Not everybody's a people person. So got to have a good attitude. Hey there, Spunky. Yeah, if you don't have a good attitude, and if you feel miserable, you're going to make everybody else feel miserable, and not everybody wants to be miserable. People don't want to come into your live stream, depressed. If you're depressed, and you know, if you come on the live stream every day and you have a real sorry attitude, yeah, unless that attitude is very entertaining, people won't want to watch that. You know, a lot of times people want to be uplifted. People want to, they want to feel good. I try to watch. I know my back hurts, but not everybody wants to hear about my bad back. You know, So just, it's one of them things there that, sometimes my wife, she's a pretty good mirror, um, or she's a very good person about letting me know what I may be going overboard on. And she's a pretty good critic of me, so I do listen to what she says. Sometimes she'll say, "You talked about this too much," "You talked about that too much," you know, and sometimes I disagree with her, but I do listen to her quite a bit because she's on the outside watching. A lot of times she's watching. She's not in the room here with me, and so you gotta pay attention to what people are wanting to watch. Even when I went live on my old channel, it was never pushed out. People actually never. Yeah, you just have to, you know, again, it just, you know, there's a lot of things that you got to do. I make baits for a living, and I'm on every day. I am on every day. I don't have a sad, pouty, you know, look about me. Try to stay upbeat. Try to stay positive. I have a good day. I try to have a good attitude. It's my work. It's my business. I love doing what I do. Um, I entertain by tying. To some people, they can sit there and watch me tie lures all day long, and they find a peace about it. Um, I don't shout and scream and yell at people. Um, some people don't want to hear that. Some people like that. A lot of the younger kids, they want to hear somebody shouting and screaming at them and hyping them up. And I have a pretty I feel like I have a pretty boring voice. You know. Um, Cold and lonely. Yeah. Can you explain to us what you are making right now? I'm making a fishing lure there, Rabbi. Yep, making a fishing lure. This buddy start. Yeah. So, I mean, again, live streaming is not for everybody. There's a lot of people that want to be. They want to be YouTube stars. They want to be TikTok stars, and there's a lot of things that may happen. So I see this. I've been doing live streaming for what, 6 years. I started out on TikTok. Peaceful spirit is a happy spirit. Yep. And there's a lot of people that, oh, I can make money on TikTok, and I can make money on YouTube, and I just can't get anybody to watch me. You know. I don't do anything special. You guys get, and I tell you guys all this. I don't have a planned show. Sometimes I do. If I'm caught up on work, uh, I'll go. I'm going to tie these up first, I'll have it all planned out. I'm going to tie those next. I got everything prepped, and we're going to do a little show, and it's going to be basically a showcase. Sometimes I do a showcase, and a showcase is where I'm tying 3 to 6 lures. You guys are getting to see a lot of the colors, and I'm doing that for advertisement of my business. And I'm doing not that many colors. So at one time, like right now, I got to tie 36 of these. It's not very appealing, you know. To watch me tie the same lure over and over and over again, but that's because we're really swamped with tackle store orders. But you got to do whatever you can. Um, there's a lot of people out there that make lures, and they don't get a lot of viewers. Uh, and there's a lot of different reasons. Sometimes they're not talking to the people. Hey there, Rudy. They're not talking to the people. They're not answering questions. Um, you know, there's a lot of different facets and aspects to doing a live stream. I'm not a pro by any means, but I've had, there have been times where I've had, over 10,000 people watching me tie lures, and it's very, how do I say, it's very sobering to me because I don't think I deserve it, but there's times that I get a lot of people watching, and there's times I don't get a lot of people watching, and sometimes, I want to blame it on the algorithm. I want to blame it on the app or whatever. But in all honesty, I'll look back at that video like a day or two later, and it'll be like, well, no wonder nobody wants to watch me. Yeah, I'm not doing anything special. I'm not a happy person on that live stream, and a lot of times people don't want to they don't want to see somebody that's depressed and down and all that. But I am in the lure business, and if I was younger, I could probably be a little more charismatic. But young Ruben is long gone. 25, 30-year-old Ruben. That that was a long time ago. Hello from Denmark. Welcome in. But there are people out there that they're trying to find their little niche in the live streaming. 1 minute you know, they're making lures. You know, 3, 4 weeks later, they either get bored of that, and then the next thing they're doing is their shows about doing coins and trying to find old coins, and and then a couple weeks after that they're making necklaces, and a couple weeks after that they're doing all kinds of stuff. They're trying to find their little niche or whatever. you know and for me, I make lures. That's what I do. I make lures. I do go fishing at times. Fishing's not my stronger point. I don't catch a lot of fish. you know and sometimes I don't catch a lot of fish. Sometimes I catch a lot of fish, and those are the good times. There good times. There are times I'm out there catching 50 to 100 fish, and we get a lot of people on the live stream. um, but sometimes I'm getting a few bites. I'm just not catching a lot of fish. But it is tough to do. It's tough to, it's easy to criticize, but it's harder to do a live stream. It's harder to make videos, and I'm a terrible editor when it comes to editing my videos. I just don't. I know I don't put enough time into it, and like I know I have plenty of room to improve on that. I never caught a fish before. Oh man. Oh, we've been fishing several times, but caught nothing. Oh man. Well, that ain't no good. There's one guy. He I've known him for a long time, and he's on TikTok. He does pretty good. He makes pretty good baits. But he's not really, when he does a live stream, he just doesn't have the personality to talk and answer questions and do things like that. When he's making lures, his eyes are all focused on that, and he's just not getting a whole lot of what's going on the screen there. And and he tried a couple of different things. He tried doing live streaming fishing. Um, he tried just doing a couple. He tried making plastics on his lives. He was a better tire than a plastic maker, I think. But he started promoting products. I don't know if it was him or his wife. I've known him for a long time. Good guy, really nice guy. But he started promoting products, and he'll do these little infomercials on a little buddy heater or something, and he'll get a lot of views, and he'll sometimes he'll get a lot of people on his live streams, and he's talking about the whatever something from Timu or TikTok shop, and where he's talking about that, he's looking in the camera, he's answering questions. People were asking, "Where do I get it?" And he's telling them, "Just click right up above my profile there, and you can purchase this right now." And he became a really good salesperson, and he does really good at it. He makes a lot of money doing that. And this is a person that would probably get maybe 5 or 10 people on his live streams. To me, he didn't seem like he was that much of a talker. I don't think he just, but when he talks about a product, I don't know if he just did a lot of homework, but he just seemed like he just popped, everything was going good for him. Let's see, much of still can go home happy. Oh, happy as a clam. Yep. Sometimes I get 700 views on my lives, but they stay tense. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people like that. Sometimes, I mean, we used to get. Oh, I was doing a TikTok live uh, about an hour or so ago, and we had 2 to 400 people watching. And I got off the live stream, and I think we had like 75, 80,000 people that came through the channel. Hardly anybody was speaking in the live stream. There just weren't a lot of people speaking in there. It was kind of strange because we just didn't have a lot of likes. On TikTok, you can like somebody's live stream like, a couple thousand times, and it'll show up right up there. The numbers would just keep going up, but we didn't have a lot of likes. We had a lot of people come through the channel, but um, if you want to be a live streamer, you gotta work on whatever your strengths are. If your strength, if you don't have any strengths, you need to try to improve where you're weak at and try to improve that and turn it into a strength. A lot of times people, again, they have a self perspective, and they may think they're better. And it's always good to have an opinion. If you don't have an opinion, um, oh, how would I say? If you don't have, I mean, everybody has an opinion on their own self, but that's not a real look. Um, if you do a video and you're looking at the video of yourself, when you get done doing a long form video, take a look at that video and ask yourself a few questions. And you know, and so there's always different ways to improve. Nobody's good at everything. A lot of people are good at this, but they're lousy at that. A lot of people are extremely good at this, and what they're really really good at is just one thing. And they're not that good at a lot of things. So I always tell everybody when it comes to live streaming, focus on what your strength is. You get maybe 3 people that stay and chat, kind of annoying. You put the work in for that. Yep. Yeah, you're going to get people that are going to come on your channel, and some people, you know, sometimes you get people talking to each other, and it may seem a little annoying or whatever, but I don't pay attention to all that, you know. We get a lot of people in here that are they're conversing back and forth with each other, and which is good. That's what I like. We don't see a whole lot of that on our TikTok. Our TikTok is everybody's comment is more so towards me, and we may have 200-300 people in the live stream, but you don't have the people in the live stream all, you know, there's not a dialogue between like Bumblebee and Grant, you know. Where here on YouTube there's a whole lot of dialogue going on within the live stream, which is great, because what that does, it helps the algorithm out. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Oh, good. That's really good, Grant. Yeah. I don't get too bummed out. I mean, this whole last week, I think I maybe picked up 1 or 2 subscribers, and you know, it is what it is. You know, I can't do anything with it. You know, just gotta keep on doing it. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. It, it's tough. You got to have something to do or talk about on your live streams. If you don't, you know, it's gonna be tough. But there's people on doing live streams. They're just really natural at it. Um, when I did my very first live stream, I had a clipboard right next to me, and I had notes up there because I was afraid somebody was going to ask a question, and I wouldn't have the answer, you know. So, but I say about 30 minutes into the live stream, I kind of ditched my notes and just talked about what I do, you know. Again, you guys get to watch me and work all day. This is just work, you know. It is work. It is our business, and I enjoy doing it. Um, it adds a little more spark each and every day when I get people watching me. But guys, I'm going to take a little break here. I'm going to go refill my drink. And I've enjoyed this time. You guys have yourself a great day. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to do so. We'll see you guys here in a little bit. I'm just working on these orders, and you guys, I'm hoping I can get done with this order today. So I stream on YouTube all day long. You know, I do at least 1 or 2 live streams on TikTok, and sometimes I do a live stream on both channels at the same time. You know, right now I'm just on YouTube. So later on, I'll probably have both TikTok and YouTube on. So we'll catch you guys later. Thank you again for watching. Make sure to subscribe. We'll catch you. Bye-bye.